Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a calm, purely factual look at the system that has completely rewired modern football, the Video Assistant Referee, better known as VAR. We're going to strip away all that stadium emotion and look strictly at the official IFAB laws and FIFA protocols to demystify exactly what is happening under the hood when the action suddenly stops. We'll be looking at the mechanics, the tech, and the human elements working together beneath the surface to see how these massive decisions are actually made. Okay, let's jump right into a really familiar everyday viewer moment. You know the scene. A midfielder slips a perfect through ball past the defense at 0 seconds. By 3 seconds, our striker slots at home, the net bulges, and the stadium absolutely erupts. But then, at 5 seconds, the assistant referee raises their flag for offside. At 6 seconds, the referee blows the whistle, points to their ear, and we get that agonizing, suspenseful pause. Now, for the fan in the stands, it just looks like a bunch of people standing around, right? But beneath that pause is a highly choreographed, high-stakes system snapping into action. So let's reveal that hidden system. We start with the initial on-field call. You might actually be wondering, why did the assistant referee raise their flag at 5 seconds instead of just letting VAR handle the whole thing? Well, it's because, according to the official IFAB laws, the referee crew must make a decision. Giving a quote-unquote no decision just to let the tech figure it out is strictly prohibited. It creates weak officiating and, honestly, huge problems if the technology were to fail. So that raised flag against our striker, it isn't just a call. It is the mandatory trigger for the entire system. Literally everything that follows is simply a process of verifying that initial human decision. Moving along. The moment the whistle blows for our disallowed striker, the system initiates what's known as a silent check. You can think of this like an Amber Protocol gate. If that offside call was clearly correct, the check completes silently in the background and the game just flows on without interruption. But if a probable error is spotted, the gate opens up. The VAR alerts the referee and we get that super familiar finger to the ear signal. The referee then delays the restart and the system moves straight into the next phase of deep analysis. But where is this check actually happening? Well, it turns out it's almost never happening on the pitch. All that data instantly flows through high-speed fiber optic lines to the VAR, or Video Operation Room. Now, this could be a secure cabin near the broadcast compound, or even a centralized facility hundreds of miles away. It receives all the live official broadcast feeds, the slow-motion cameras, and the eligible sensor and tracking inputs. This deliberate physical separation is key. It moves the analytical work away from the screaming fans and the incredible pressure of the stadium straight into a controlled, quiet hub. To really grasp the sheer scale of what's happening in that room, consider this absolutely staggering number, 150 million. For the 2026 World Cup, stadiums are equipped with 16 optical tracking cameras that produce over 150 million tracking data points per match. Players, including our striker, are digitally mapped into precise 3D avatars 50 times per second. It's wild. This allows the advanced semi-automated offside technology to track exact body part dimensions. But, and this is absolutely crucial to remember, this incredible AI and the connected ball are purely decision support tools. They do not officiate the game themselves. They just feed highly accurate data to the humans who are actually in charge. Inside the VAR, that massive stream of data is handled by a distributed network of distinct human components. It operates almost like a highly trained pit crew working on our disallowed goal. First, you have the VAR. That's a qualified referee whose primary focus is conducting the check and communicating directly with the on-field referee. Then you have the AVR, the assistant VAR. While the VAR is busy analyzing a complex replay of our striker's run, the AVR keeps their eyes glued to live play. They're making sure no other incidents are missed, while also tracking lost time. And finally, there's the replay operator. This is a non-referee technical expert who rapidly queues up the absolute best broadcast angles and syncs the feeds. It is a highly coordinated team. Now, before this pit crew can actually step in, change the game, and award our striker the goal, they face a massive constraint. The VAR protocol strictly dictates they can only intervene for a clear and obvious error or a serious missed incident. So they can't simply re-referee the game just because they have a slightly different opinion on, say, a soft foul in the build-up. The video evidence literally must demonstrate that this threshold has been met. This incredibly high, rigid threshold is exactly why you sometimes see controversial calls stand. If it's a 50-50 subjective call, the original on-field decision remains completely untouched. So what happens when a review is actually triggered for our incident? The system splits down two very distinct paths. If the incident is a purely factual matter, like the exact physical location of our striker's foot, or whether a foul occurred inside or outside the penalty box, this is handled via a VAR-only review. The VAR just tells the referee the objective fact right through the earpiece. Done. But for subjective calls, like the intensity of a tackle or whether a handball in the buildup was intentional, the referee actually has to go to the pitch side monitor for an on-field review. Subjective calls absolutely demand the on-field referee's direct interpretation. We really need to draw a stark contrast here with our striker's offside, because positional offside and interference in play are completely different problems. With the 2026 system, a factual positional offside is detected by the AI and sent instantly to the assistant referee's earpiece for a quick flag. Easy enough. But what if our striker didn't actually touch the ball, but just stood in an offside position and blocked the goalkeeper's line of sight? Well, that is interference in play. An AI cannot judge human impact like that. The VAR must use the 3D data feeds to subjectively determine if the player interfered, making the human review process absolutely essential here. Despite the 150 million data points, the fiber optics and the 3D avatars tracking our striker's every single move, the entire system is anchored by IFAB Law 5. It states, the decisions of the referee regarding facts connected with play are final. You see, the VAR has the exact same status as an assistant referee with a flag. They can only recommend. The whole system is deliberately designed to keep the human referee on the pitch, not the AI, and not the VAR sitting in the booth, as the ultimate failsafe and final authority. However, that ultimate authority is bound by a very strict match validity constraint. Once play has been officially restarted, say the defending team takes the free kick after our striker's offside call, the system is locked, the vault is closed. With incredibly rare exceptions for things like mistaken identity or severe violent conduct, the referee cannot go back and review an incident once the ball is back in play. This constraint forces the entire system to operate with immense urgency during that pause. If they miss the window before the restart, the error is permanent. There's no going back. Of course, no system is completely bulletproof, right? When we map out the boundaries of this network, we can see exactly where things can break down. First up, we've got latency and synchronization issues. Even with fiber optics, academic studies show humans perceive a ball being kicked up to 132 milliseconds later than it actually was. That obviously complicates drawing manual offside lines. Second is incomplete visual evidence. If the tracking cameras are blocked by a cluster of players, the VAR simply cannot overturn a call. Third is the unavoidable flaw of subjective human interpretation. Bias and differing opinions are always going to exist. And finally, system or staffing fallback. If the tech completely crashes, the protocol is pretty simple. The referees just revert to officiating the game the old-fashioned way. So, returning to the pitch for the fans' view, we started with that agonizing pause after our striker's disallowed goal. But now you know exactly what is happening beneath the grass. It's an instant flow of data, it's rigid protocol thresholds, and it's these precise causal handoffs between the AI, the VAR, and the pitch. So ask yourself, what should you take away from all this? Next time the referee blows the whistle and touches their earpiece, will you just see a frustrating delay, or will you recognize it as the final visible output of a massive distributed coordination system? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.